Hello there, and welcome to another week of the weekly support and clarity from Spirit for you. So, yeah, thanks for joining me. I hope you've had a fantastic week. And we'll get on with the weekly reading. So, we're doing this from the 5th, so Monday the 5th of December to Sunday the 12th of December. I had to think there for a minute to see what the dates were. So, I hope you're coping well with Christmas coming up and everything like that. And let's just get straight into it. I forgot how I work is I call in my guides, always in the spirit who love me, ask them to give you what you need for the upcoming week. Any tips, techniques, practices, different things like that. So let's get on with it. There's a bit of it's a bit of an interesting energy around at the moment because there's this kind of hype coming up from Christmas and people kind of, getting into getting stuff sorted for that time. But there's also quite a bit of tiredness around as well. And it's really about helping you to be okay with where you're at the time. I can feel a lot of people pushing themselves through this. I've got stuff to do, I've got to get this sorted. At the end of the year's here already, that kind of frantic kind of energy. But they're not allowing themselves to, sort of decompress, to process, to assimilate what's come up at this time, and just coming out of a very large stage on a global level where there was a lot of stuff coming out. There was quite a bit of congestion flying around the place. It was that bit of a dip in energy and as well. So just allowing yourself and just giving yourself permission to be okay where you're at. And one thing you'll probably find is that if you allow yourself to have a little bit of downtime and allow yourself to process or sleep or rest or whatever, the next day or the next few days you'll actually pick right up again. But it's really about allowing yourself to have that time. And we're getting on to the weekly readings now. So Monday. So this is, there's a real in-between sort of energy here. And a lot of people are getting in their head as well. So it's that thing about really actually step back. If you're getting in your head, you're getting a little bit overwhelmed, stop for a second, take a couple of breaths, and actually step back from where you actually are at that time, and really look at where you are, what you need to do, what's going on, and what you're thinking about. And when you do that, that even seems a little bit overwhelming. But the goal here, or the process, is to just really be aware of what's actually going on. So it's just being aware of your overwhelm or all the things that you need to do. And then it's actually about really starting to prioritize what you need to do for the next, they're saying right at that moment and for the next few days. Okay, what do I need to accomplish? What are the things which are really important here? And just allowing yourself to be a bit more methodical. The other thing is Spirit saying, ask us to take some of this overwhelm, some of this gunk, some of this sort of pressure in which you're putting in yourself, which is going into Tuesday actually. So Tuesday, there is quite a lot of pressure around. I can feel it, and people putting pressure on themselves about having to perform, about getting things done, about getting sorted, about all this kind of thing. So when you try to release pressure by pressuring yourself to push that pressure aside or to push yourself through it, you probably figured it out already, it's just going to enhance that pressure. And so one thing in which you can do here is just allowing yourself to recognize actually what's going on. And it's really about allowing yourself to be a bit more kind, to be a bit more forgiving, and to congratulate yourself for what you've been able to accomplish. If you start doing this, you'll find that the tension starts to be released slightly, or maybe a lot more than slightly, depending on how much you do this. And there'll be more of a flow here. And you'll actually realize that generally they're saying about 98% of things is the pressure is actually coming from you. Now, part of this is around work as well, and there are pressures around you about work. But even then, still, there might be external pressure, but it's about the pressure that you're putting on yourself about trying to get things done and to follow through this. If you just sort of stop for a second and allow yourself to systematically work through this, it's going to open you up. It's going to be a lot easier for you to follow in this way, which is getting on to Wednesday. So Wednesday. So Wednesday, this is it's fine. I can feel it in my throat and I can feel it in my heart. And there's a bit of stuff here around expression, but then also being kind and forgiving to yourself. But it's also about saying no. A lot of no's coming up here. And it's around different types of relationships. And also a little bit about work as well. I feel like sometimes people are, there's too much stuff that's being put upon them by people around them, managers or people above and so forth, and saying, look, I need all of this done. And it's about you going, well, no, I can do this, and then, this is as much as I am able to do at this moment. And it's about being a bit more kind to yourself. It's also within, not in the workspace, actually about saying no to the things in which you really aren't working for you or you really don't want to do. And it's actually about being okay with that as well. Because I can feel the thing around backlash. And that backlash is partly because there's anxiety about what you think may happen. So if you're just strong and you stand in yourself and allow yourself to say, I can't do this, or I can do it later, even if there is any kind of backlash or any kind of confrontation here, when you're comfortable within yourself and you know you're doing the right thing, it's actually a lot smoother to work through this. So getting on to Thursday. So Thursday, okay, it's funny. They said it's about really, being in line with what is most important for you. This is on a personal level. And so it's about, I keep laughing because of the way they told me, but it's that thing about really, caring about what is important to you on a personal level and not caring about the stuff that is not important to you. Really simple as that, not much more to it, and just really allow yourself to recognize this. And actually they're saying tick it off as you go down the list. So getting on to Friday. Okay, so there's a bit of external sort of gunk or friction around families and around family kind of conditions, I could say, or proposals, or things that you must do within the family dynamic. And some of these too, they're very outdated, and I feel that there's quite a few people out there that are really questioning whether this is really working for you or not. And I could hear you go, okay, but it's been there for so long, this is the way we work. Well, is it the way you want to continue? And if you do have children, do you want your children to be in this dynamic as well? So really about questioning that, and really about allowing yourself to bring in or bring forth another way of doing things, another flow, another dynamic, another philosophy into that sort of family dynamic and the way that you do things, and just sort of taking it step by step. And because it's only going to happen on a long-lasting level if you take it step by step. If you try to do too much at once, it'll just all collapse and you'll go back to the old ways. So getting on to Saturday too, and this is about the collapsing, and this is about trying to do too much at one time. And it's that thing too that even if you are able to accomplish, I can see people doing 2, 3, 4 things at once. You are able to do this. Sometimes they're a bit half-assed, and there are other times it's that thing where you get through this, but then you fall into a heap afterwards. So it's really about allowing yourself to, to feel a bit more, feel a bit better about where you're at, about what you're accomplishing, and about what you're needing to do, and what's going to be correct for you in that way as well, and to do things a bit more mindfully. Now, they're just telling me about a really easy, simple practice. Love simple, love easy. And that is, every now and then through the day, just stop for a second, ask yourself, just stop for a second, do a couple of breaths. If you want to breathe white light in the top of your head, down through your body, out the bottom of your feet, just a bit of a flush through your system that way, just moving some stuff out of there, just flushing that out. And then after you've done a couple of breaths, just sort of stop and say to yourself in your mind, you can say out loud if you want, right now I'm doing the best I can, right now I am achieving everything that I need to achieve, right now I'm safe and supported, and then continue on with it. Now, if you're halfway through achieving things or whatever, still say that, because that's actually going to give you energy, and it's going to allow you to decompress a little bit, and to be able to get the rest of your stuff done. So getting on to Sunday, what's on Sunday? Okay, so Sunday's a bit of a you day. Okay, so what do you want to do? What do you want to, what kind of things are turning you on? What do you feel like doing for you today? So it's really about taking out a piece of Sunday, whatever you feel like doing, and just saying, right, this is for me and me only. So it could be getting a massage, pedicure, going for a walk down the park, laying on the couch, not doing much, watching a bit of TV or whatever the case, or whatever you actually feel like doing, reading a book, whatever. So Sunday is about you. And when you do this, even at the start, you can actually say to yourself, this is something I'm doing just for me. I feel very good about this, feel very comfortable about this. This is something which is really nurturing my needs at this moment. And then at the end of it, congratulate yourself, give yourself a bit of a pat on the back for how well you've done, and then just keep flowing, whatever that is. Okay. Thanks very much for joining me. Been really, really cool to be back. I missed out last week. I had weddings and work and all kinds of other stuff to go to and do. Congratulations, John and Jody. Beautiful wedding. It was lots of fun to be there. The other thing is, I'm going to be on Sapphire FM on the 12th of December, 7 o'clock. If you're in daylight savings, 6 o'clock if you're not in daylight savings. I'm going to be talking about all things psychic, being a medium, being a clairvoyant, and doing some live readings as well. So if you'd like to get a private session with me, just check me out, davidmjohn.com, my websites, Facebook pages, all the rest of it, YouTube. And if you email me, please include your phone number, because I do get emails and for some reason they're not going through. So please include your phone number in there so I can get in contact with you about you having a session. So thanks very much for joining me. Have a fabulous week ahead, and lots of love. Okay, bye-bye.